Hello, everybody. Welcome to Popcorn Planet, powered by Fandom Wire, and I'm here today with an exclusive from Fandom Wire. Guys, if you aren't following over there, please go do fandomwire.com to get all your information, or go to Fandom Wire News on Facebook. This was one of our scoopsters over there, gave us an exclusive that I was very honored I got to write this story, because I think this is pretty epic, and I'm so excited to talk about what this could mean. So, guys, before I even get to it, slight spoilers ahead for like first and second act plot structure of Black Adam. So I want to make sure I've warned you in case you don't want anything to know going forward, but I suspect this will come out pretty quickly as this gets confirmed by others, which it will be. This is a major sort of how the film opens and major characters that will be in this film that there's no way they're not going to put in their marketing. So you've been warned, though. I don't want to trick anybody, but this story all revolves around Black Adam and who he'll be fighting and sort of what the basic plot of that movie is. And I got to be honest, I'm getting excited. Look, what we knew about this film so far is what, DJ, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, has told us. And he has been quoted originally as sort of admitting it's an origin story, and that's where we start it, where we root it, and then we build out from there. Now, to say Shazam isn't on my radar, of course Shazam is, but so is all of DC. JSA, we will introduce you to that, the world of the JSA. Now, guys, that's where things get exciting. So look, before I even get to who these members are, which I got through Phantom Wire exclusive tip, we have all this information. This was confirmed. I feel vouched very heavily by a source that's been right a lot. This always, really, all the sources we've gotten have been right by the source. The source is inside. This is interesting because, look, he's been sort of, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has sort of avoided wanting to just fight Shazam right away. I think if The Rock's going to come do a superhero movie, he wants to come do a superhero movie. And guys, he's coming to do a superhero movie. Now, this has implications that we're going to talk about as well, but let's get sort of to the story of why do you think The Rock's not fighting Shazam in his movie? It's because he's fighting a lot bigger DC heroes. That's the reality of what we just learned. So this has been rumored, but this is before, but now we know exactly what's happening. We know what the plot is, and we know who he'll be fighting. So if you're not familiar with the Justice Society of America, when we talk to the JSA, here's a sort of that's the nice, cool thumbnail I've made for you guys to sort of help see some of the images, characters we're going to talk about. But these are characters from the comics. They go way back. And for those who are unfamiliar with the JSA, they're really the original version of the Justice League. They're a group of Golden Age superheroes from the All-Star Comics era, and that ended around the 50s. And that's when the JSA then joined the multiverse in Crisis on Infinite Earths, and obviously reimagined their team-ups as a precursor to the Justice League. There have been many members over the years, Stargirl and others and everything, but we're going to talk about the ones that appear in this film. So it's important to sort of step back again, because look, The Rock has said he wants to make a big superhero movie. Well, this is how he's going to be able to do it. This isn't just him versus Shazam. He's implied this is an origin story, but he says that's where we started. The film starts in the past, but then it fast forwards. After about 30 minutes of this past story, it fast forwards into the present day with Black Havoc wreaking havoc in present day. So what is the plot about? Let's get to it. Let's get straight to the article as I sort of wrote it. You can read this all in your own time if you want over on fandomwire.com. But it opens many years in the past with Black Adam releasing the 7 sins. The same 7 sins we saw in the first Shazam. They are there to wreak havoc as well. So the Justice Society of America, which is formed back then, must stop him. This Justice Society of America lineup consists of Wizard Shazam, who we do remember from the first movie, played by Djimon Hounsou. And if you don't know him, he has superhuman powers and abilities and magical powers, and he can sort of bestow those powers as representatives of the various gods, as I mentioned here, and it can be sort of the champions of the gods in cases of Black Adam and Billy Batson. So he'll be back as a younger form in the beginning. He'll also be up with Hawkman and Hawkgirl. Now, Hawkman and Hawkgirl in the comics, obviously they use, I don't even know how to say it to be perfect. It's the nth metal, which is really how they get all their power. For those that don't know, they get that from Thangar. I'm not a Hawkman guy, so apologies. I had to research this and learn a little bit more about the actual origin of Hawkman, Hawkwoman, Hawkgirl. There's several various versions throughout their run, but the main thing that's consistent throughout, obviously, they get this nth metal from the planet, and that metal gives them all their powers powers, which gives them sort of superhuman strength, acute vision, enhanced hearing, regeneration powers, obviously the wings and their flight. But the other thing that's sort of important that I mentioned because it's related to the script, they are in an endless sort of cycle of death, rebirth. They come back and can be in other bodies throughout time, and that allows them to have sort of this lifetime's knowledge of combat, hand-to-hand skills that they get to use. And obviously that mace also with the nth metal is pretty awesome and can stop magic powers. There's a lot more to learn about these characters in the comics. Again, I don't want to spoil how the characters are going to be in the film. We're just here to tell you about which characters are going to be in the film. Next up, we got Dr. Fate. So Dr. Fate, if you aren't familiar with him, he's really Doctor Strange. It's really if the easiest way to sort of sum him up. He's the original Doctor Strange because Marvel created Doctor Strange after Dr. Fate, and many think it's a copycat. But he's another sorcerer. He's got powers. He can do spells, telekinesis, telepathy, and lightning manipulation. He's got a lot of crazy powers, and it all sort of manifests in these Egyptian hieroglyphics. And as his power has been described in the comics as the true conversion of energy into matter and matter into energy. Now, those three are sort of the immortal characters we got, but that's not the only ones we get. We will get to see a non-immortal but classic version of Jay Garrick, a.k.a. the first version of The Flash. Obviously, we know his backstory. All these Flashes sort of have the similar laboratory accident, which gives them the superhuman speed, and then they choose to fight, as crime, as costumed heroes. But getting Jay Garrick in this version is pretty exciting. And then to make it even more exciting, yes, we will be getting Alan Scott. He was, in the comics, one of the founding members of the JSA, and he is the first character to bear the name of Green Lantern. So this is an opportunity for DC to bring in a Flash and a Green Lantern in a team-up again as the sort of originating members, and obviously use the ring to use his powers. And yes, we will see all of these characters taking on Black Adam with all of their superpowers in the first act. So, guys, think about that. We got Hawkman, Hawkgirl, Green Lantern, Flash, Dr. Fate, all fighting Black Adam at the beginning of this film. I instantly got excited as soon as I was hearing this news. I was like, okay, wow, The Rock's not messing around. It makes me also wonder, like, what are you going to do with Shazam? But we're going to get to that next. So the plot revolves around this sort of first formation. Black Adam's out there trying to stop the world with the seven sins. And they do, again, first act, spoiler alert. Obviously, he's stopped. They put him in a tomb. The film fast forwards, and the bulk of the film takes place in present day. A lot of people have been saying this is an origin film, and that it's just sort of it's a prequel. Yes, part of it is, but then it really does take the bulk of him being awakened again in present day, coming back alive, and then the Justice Society of America having to reform to take him down again. So in order for that to happen, they adjust the characters, and we get a lot of the same ones. Hawkman and Hawkgirl come back. They are reborn into different bodies, and Dr. Fate, obviously also immortal, so he comes back. But they bring on two new heroes to help. So they recruit, first up, Atom Smasher. So Atom Smasher, if you're unfamiliar with him, let me go full screen on Atom Smasher because this image is pretty cool. So he's kind of like Giant Man, really, but he's strong. He's really strong, and he can basically get stronger as he grows. So it's like his strength and density increase proportionately to whatever size he chooses to be. But in the history of the comics, he and Black Adam have been friends. They have been enemies. They've gone back and forth. But Black Adam in the comics has knocked him out with one punch, just to show how strong Black Adam is. But this character of Atom Smasher could be very fun. Some really cool visuals in the film. And then next up, we got Cyclone. They've been teasing her. As people have sort of assumed she'd be there. Well, she is. And Cyclone in the comics is the granddaughter of Red Tornado, which isn't mentioned in anything we've heard, is not apparently part of this team up. Who knows if that history will still be used. But her powers, obviously, sort of Storm-esque, where she can manipulate the wind, summon cyclones, whirlwinds, also just bursts of air, which she can use to fly. And in the comics, she also, I read, she has moments where she can control sort of sound currents. So that's sort of her powers. And then all of that, they work also with ISIS. Now, they're not going to call her ISIS for obvious political reasons. It's a terrorist group, and They're just going to call her by her name, Adriana, and she is Black Adam's love interest, and she is also joined into the team to try and sort of, again, no spoiler alerts, but her powers in the comics, and she's been in various TV shows. Her powers are insane. She has super speed, flight, strength, akin to both Superman and Wonder Woman, telekinesis, geokinesis, where she can use the elements to her advantage. She can change molecules and inanimate objects, and she has the ability to stop and reverse time. So her powers in the comics are kind of absurd. So expect the movie version to tone some of those down. But the key there to know is she's supposed to be sort of like the female Black Adam. She's as powerful as he is, and that's sort of what makes their love affair exciting and everything else. But she also is in the film, but not called Isis. And so that is the team up. So you got the first team up, you got the modern version, you got the classic version. It's sounding pretty cool. I gotta be honest. I think this is a really smart move on DC's part, but it also begs a lot of questions as to, why they aren't doing the Shazam Black Adam team up. So let's speculate a bit. Now that you got all the information, are you excited? Start commenting down below, please. Go subscribe to our YouTube here and like Facebook on Facebook Fandom Wire. But what I'm sort of, and as I go into my article and talk about, and I want to talk about with you guys is, how do you make a Shazam versus Black Adam movie after you do this? I mean, as I read this and I was learning more and asking questions and getting all the intel, I was like, damn, this sounds cool. This sounds like it could be a lot of fun. And it makes sense because The Rock doesn't want to just show up and be the bad guy against Shazam. The Rock's made it clear, and we all know The Rock. He wants to come in and own a friggin', whole franchise of superhero movies. So this allows him to create basically a new Justice League movie with a bunch of new characters that they can, the classic version, the new version, and he can come back as either the villain or the hero, the hero that teams up to sort of beat someone bigger. So it's kind of a brilliant move on his part to sort of step in with a way bigger palette, if you will. But again, it just begs the question of, well, then how do you follow that up with it? Because what they're supposed to make in a follow-up film where Black Adam versus Shazam, and I just don't understand how those stakes can be matched. The rumors that people have been spreading, and the same ones I'm hearing, is that a lot of people in the inside want to get Henry Cavill to return to play Superman. And if you remember in the movie, he spoiler alert to Shazam, he shows up at the end, and it's sort of Henry Cavill's body double. They don't show his face. But the rumors I hear is they want Man of Steel to come into the next Shazam Black Adam team up, so it's not just a boring Shazam versus Black Adam, but the return of Superman. And I hear Henry Cavill, but you realize, that's wishful thinking, because why would Henry Cavill wait out to be the third lead in another movie when he wants to do a solo film? But then you understand maybe, okay, well, they're clearly investing. Now you guys hopefully can see why DC is investing in these new team-ups, and Shazam as sort of the hero and Black Adam as sort of another. They already have sort of two Supermans. They might be like, you know what? No, I don't want to make a third Superman. It's just going to make things confusing. And that's why Henry Cavill is upset. All of that drama is starting to make a little bit more sense to me. Again, speculation. It makes a little bit more sense to me why it's more complicated to sort of just greenlight a new Superman movie for Henry Cavill when you realize they're building Black Adam to be this epic villain, anti-hero versus a lot of classic DC heroes that we love, and introduce some new ones, and potentially launch a whole new superhero franchise of these characters going crazy. It does clarify and complicate sort of the next steps for Superman. So all of that is just, look, I think all of this is very exciting. I'm excited for where this can go. What do you guys think? Does this sound better to you? Does it get you more pumped for Black Adam? Does it get you worried? Are there Justice Society of America members you're missing? Stargirl, people were trying to say that she was in. She's not. Again, some of this could change, I suppose, because they still haven't shot it. They are in production right now casting these leads. And we know this is what they're running with. This has been confirmed. But obviously, with everything going on right now and delays and things, this could adjust slightly, but expect a lot of this to be true. And in which case, would that excite you? Does that make you less excited? I want to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. Please share this video. Get the word out there that we broke this, as I think this is pretty exciting news. So go get it out there. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe here. We got lots more content coming for you that you can go learn about here on Popcorn Planet, your source for all entertainment, as well as, like I said, Fandom Wire over on Facebook, Fandom Wire News, and Fandom Wire .com to get all your sort of news, info, movie stuff. I'm going to be live tonight at 9 p.m. with Nerd Wars Demonetized, where I'll have the call-in line, the party line. We're going to talk about this and so much more. So if you want to join in and have the conversation, come on. It's your show. You guys get to call in live and join me every Thursday night, 9 p.m., as well as Tuesday night, sometimes 9 p.m. with Jody. So much content here on Popcorn Planet. So thank you so much for all you supporters who've watched. You can subscribe or join. So much exciting stuff in the works. So thanks so much for those who've supported and watched. I'll be back with more content very soon. Thanks, everybody.